Have you ever wished you could just skip a few days? Well, back in 1582, people didn't just wish for it. It actually happened. Imagine going to bed on Thursday, October 4th, and waking up the next day to find it was Friday, October 15th. No, it's not a sci-fi plot. It's a real historical event. 10 whole days were completely wiped from the calendar. So, what happened? Where did those days go? To solve this mystery, we need to travel back even further, to ancient Rome and Julius Caesar. The calendar he introduced, the Julian calendar, was a massive improvement at the time. It established our 365-day year with a leap year every 4 years. It sounds pretty accurate, right? Well, almost. Caesar's astronomers calculated the year to be 365.25 days long. The actual solar year, the time it takes for the Earth to orbit the Sun, is just a tiny bit shorter, about 11 minutes shorter, to be precise. Now, 11 minutes might not seem like a big deal, but over centuries, those minutes add up. By the 16th century, the Julian calendar had drifted by a full 10 days. This caused a major headache, especially for the Church. The date of Easter, which is tied to the spring equinox, was creeping earlier and earlier into winter. The seasons and the calendar were no longer in sync. It was a slow-motion temporal crisis, and someone had to fix it. Enter Pope Gregory XIII. He assembled a team of the best astronomers and mathematicians of the era. After years of study, they came up with a brilliant solution: the Gregorian calendar, the very same one most of the world uses today. Their plan was twofold. First, they needed to correct the accumulated drift. The most straightforward way to do this was to simply jump forward. So, by papal decree, the day after October 4th, 1582, became October 15th. 10 days vanished into thin air, just like that, but that only fixed the past. What about the future? To prevent the calendar from drifting again, they introduced a new, more accurate leap year rule. A year is a leap year if it's divisible by 4, unless it's a century year, like 1700 or 1900. Those century years are only leap years if they are divisible by 400. That's why the year 2000 was a leap year, but 1900 was not. This clever tweak makes the Gregorian calendar incredibly precise, off by only about 27 seconds per year. Of course, this change didn't happen overnight for everyone. Catholic countries like Italy, Spain, and Portugal adopted it immediately. But Protestant and Orthodox nations were suspicious. It took Great Britain and its American colonies until 1752 to make the switch, by which time they had to skip 11 days. Russia didn't adopt it until 1918. So the next time you check your calendar, remember the wild story of 1582, the year when 10 days disappeared to put time itself back on track. Thanks for joining me on this journey through time. If you enjoyed this video and learned something new, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more fascinating stories from history. See you in the next one.